morning and welcome to TTTV. Today's adventure brings us to cranberry country. We're on a drive down to Marion, Mass to see Don's Uncle Don. And we're passing by some of the most beautiful cranberry country. I'll try to take some footage as we pass various farms, but you see, you can even see the red fruit because it's almost time for harvest. I think what they do is flood these bogs and then rake them. I'll ask Dawn when we get in the car. Here we are. We've got the dogs with us. So Dawn, I was telling the viewers, the berries are pretty ripe. Did they flood the bogs to harvest?
There's 3 kinds of berries, but typically the fresh fruit is worth more money. These bogs are probably fresh fruit, but then the second way to do it is to flood the bog, and they have a machine that goes and knocks the berry off the vine and it floats to the top. And on a day like today, the wind would take all the berries onto one side, and then they put this suction hose in and they suck all the berries out and it goes into a truck.
Crazy business. Cranberry country. We'll report from further on down the road. Until then, you know who I am. And you know who they are.
This is where my grandmother and my family sold their berries. This is Deacon's Cranberry Products, and it looks a lot different than it did. These big towers, I believe, well, there's 2 things in them. There's they were the first ones to make craisins, but so those are filled with sugar and freeze-dried material. I don't know how they do it, but this is the processing plant where they bring fresh berries and wet berries, and they bring them in and they run them through a machine, and the machine separates by color, and so they do craisins, juice, and concentrate for juice, and fresh fruit.
Very nice and very informative.
So the little markers are to mark some of the dikes so that when they wet pick, they don't fall into the steep parts. And as much cranberry land as on that side of the street is on this side of the street.
We're in cranberry country, as I believe I informed the viewers a little earlier. And speaking of cranberry country, here's a golf course that they made out of cranberry bogs.
And if you look, there's a cranberry on top of a golf tee, but we'll take a little ride in and Jeannie will show you.
Here's Souther's Marsh Golf Course made from cranberry bogs, as you can see. This place is a little bit casual. Once I arrived and realized I'd left my golf shoes in a different car, so I played barefoot, and that was just fine with the people at Souther's Marsh. It's kind of fun and very pretty. Tell us about the family that owns Souther's Marsh.
So it's owned by the Stearns family, and they were in the business of supplying the cranberry industry with pumps and pipes for irrigation. And when the cranberry business kind of hit the skids, they turned their cranberry bogs into a golf course. And it's an 18-hole, pretty challenging course, but the Stearns family still runs it, and they're great people.
On the back 40 there. Welcome back. We're arriving on Planting Island, Don?
This is Planting Island. This is where my grandmother had a summer cottage that she would come up from New York City and spend most of the summer. It is located in Marion, Massachusetts, which is just before Cape Cod. And this is a little causeway that we're going across. You can see Marion Harbor down to the south there. My uncle is here staying in my godfather's house. He's lucky enough to get a couple weeks here, but this is Buzzards Bay. To our left and to our right is the cove. Water's much warmer than it is in Duxbury just because of the Gulf Stream. It's about 15 degrees warmer.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's worth the trip.
it is.
It's about an hour from Duxbury, I think
this
it looks
is about
like.
an hour from Duxbury.
South. Oh, here's a little sign. Your dad loved it here, didn't he?
He did. So my dad and my uncle spent their teenage years growing up down here, and I spent my first 2 years staying in my grandmother's cottage. There's an old person.
I won't shoot her.
Let's shoot the messenger. They got little speed bumps on the island, but pretty much every house has a view. U.S.
Cocktails.
Yeah, it's good.
Definitely. You have a setup right down there.
So you guys would just go down.
Which is a pretty sweet spot looking out. What am I looking at?
Sippaghan Harbor.
Sippaghan Harbor.
Sippaghan? Sippaghan Harbor.
Yeah.
I see a lighthouse out there.
That's where